Hey guys, I'm back. It's Chef Jazz here, owner of Green Panther Chef, where we normalize cooking with cannabis. If you checked out our last episode, we went through everything of what you need to know to make your own cannabis butter or your cannabis extraction at home. So now what we're going to do is follow up on that first video. So if you've not checked it out, make sure you swipe left, swipe right, or check the show notes so you can get the link in the bio. All right, guys. So what we have done already is we have decarboxylated our cannabis. We have already went through this process in the prior video, so make sure you check it out if you're not up to speed. So now it's time to come out the oven. We have decarboxylated this for 40 minutes at 220 degrees. And guys, it's going to be extremely hot when you take it out the oven, so make sure you use some type of mince. I've been in kitchens for a long time, so I got little hot hands. But once it does come out the oven, do not open it immediately. You have a lot of good vapors inside of here. So if you're making like a really good steak or roast chicken or turkey, right? Or around Thanksgiving, when you take it out the oven, we don't cut into it immediately, right? We don't want to do that because all that good juice runs out. So that's the same thing with cannabis. We don't want to open up that top because all of those good vapors kind of run out. So what I typically like to do is let it hang out inside the oven for like a good 10 to 15 minutes. It's still kind of hot in there. So I like to take it out if you want to speed up the process. But typically I'm doing other things. So that's a good place to hang out for me. So if you want to kind of speed it along, just hang it out on your windowsill or just put it on your countertop like I'm doing here for about 10 to 15 minutes. It's still a little bit hot. All right. So just to pick up just a little bit, we have 7 grams of decarboxylated cannabis inside of here. Typically, when we do an extraction, I like to use 8 ounces of a like a French press or a butter, I should say, or a butter that is more like a trickling springs, I should say, something that is more less ingredients, has less crap inside of it. So if you can find, like, if you go to a farmer's market and you find a creamery, you could really get a really good butter. One that's in this area is Trickling Springs, and I absolutely love them. Yeah, no plug or anything like that, but I absolutely love their product because it's superior. If you can't find a Trickling Springs, Kerrygold is really good as well. You can find that at basically any grocery store or any type of European type of butter. The reason being, it's because that fat content is really, really high, right? And it really yields for a superior product. So before and while we let this kind of hang out and cool down, let's talk a little bit, about like extractions and different carrier fats, because this is extremely important when you are cooking with cannabis. We have already decarboxylated. We've already gotten it from a really good supplier. So this is the most important step, I feel, because you really want to get the most out of your cannabis and you don't want it to go to waste whatsoever, right? So to make sure that does not happen, you want to use something that is higher in fat content. I know that a lot of coconut milks and all of that good type of stuff are on the market, which is awesome, but there's a different variation, right? So you have this type of coconut milk that you see here, right? This comes in a can, you shake it. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's like this fat layer that's on top, right? This is what you want to hear. This is what you want, when you are cooking with cannabis. Because why? Cannabis loves fat. It's what do we call it? Hydrophobic or hydrophilic. Whatever you hear, those words or those terms are interchangeable. What they basically means is it does not like water. So it's not going to be soluble inside of water. So when you're dealing with like a supplier who has like a CBD water or a CBD seltzer, kombucha, just be very mindful of their process and ask them, what is the process? Because you want to make sure you're getting all of those cannabinoids, because we know that cannabinoids love fat. And so if you want to do something in a coconut milk, I prefer the stuff in the can over the stuff, I just picked this up, that comes inside of this type of container here. The reason being is because if you just flip it over, the first ingredient is water. you know? So you really don't want that, right? If your cannabis is already hydrophobic, why would you want to extract it in something the first ingredient is water, right? No brainer, guys. All right, so you definitely want to do something that is, yeah, coconut milk. This is, you can find this in any international market. I know Amazon like rules the world right now, so I'm sure you can find it on Amazon. But I absolutely love using a coconut milk, and then also a bain marie. We'll touch on this in a moment, but this is just creating a double boiler, so the heat is not aggressive on your cannabis. You want to make sure that you do not burn off your cannabinoids. Well, I did touch on this just maybe in prior videos, but I'll touch on this now. Your cannabinoids burn off, or at least the very important ones, THC and CBD. THC burns off at around 342 degrees Fahrenheit, and CBD burns off around 392. So when you are cooking with cannabis, you want to be a little bit gentle, you know. So I love to do bain maries. I love to do double boilers, or if you do not have the time, because I also have a quick keef method where we're only using the stovetop, you just have to be completely dedicated into that process and making sure that you are not going to walk away, answer the phone, because your whole entire bat can go just like that. And we do not want that. All right. So we already touched on your coconuts. We want something that is really, really fatty. You don't want something like this, because why, guys? I'm going to let you answer that in the comments. But, and then also you want something that's a little bit fattier. All right. So if you want to use an oil, I'm just going to go down a lot here. We're going to be infusing with our extra virgin olive oil, but coconut oil as well. That is also something that I love, especially like for vegans, or if you're new to vegan and you still want like that buttery kind of taste. I love to make my eggs with this in the morning with a great infusion. It just upstarts your day, you know, and chuck a few nugs inside of a smoothie. Like, hey, I'm just top of the morning to you. All right. So also honey. Honey is something that is super versatile. You can put it inside of teas. I absolutely love it. And a lot of different recipes that you can find on greenpantherchef.com. But using or infusing with honey is the exact same type of process. You want to decarboxylate. We're using the mason jar method here, guys. If you want any other types of other methods, you can find that on our website. We definitely go through the French press method. We have a big old crock pot back here that is brewing with some goodness. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can extract, but we like to do the mason jar method. And the reason being is because most people have this stuff at home. So we have those 7 grams inside of here, and then we typically like to do 7 grams to 4 ounces. Okay, so we'll just fill this up. I like the 6-ounce mason jars, and so we'll just fill it up with the honey to the top, and then we'll just put it into a double boiler. So that's also amazing. Typically though, before I actually get off of that, when I am using a honey, I typically like to do it in a cheesecloth. A cheesecloth, you can find this on Amazon. You can find it in Williams and Sonoma. You can find it at Target. You can find it anywhere. If you don't have that, absolutely fine. You can do a coffee filter, right? But make sure the coffee filter does not have bleach. You want to use something that's unfiltered. You know, like, I don't like to eat bleach. Do you? All right. And then also I found this little cute gadget I was playing with one of my friends here. It's like a gnome hat, right? But I absolutely love this because this is also a quick and easy way that you can make an extraction as well by just chucking everything inside of here, maybe doing a quick little tie and just dropping it in. I just bought this. I'm gonna figure it out. Check out some other videos, guys. All right. So we have our decarboxylated cannabis inside of here. We have already let those vapors come back in, like we said, with a good steak, with a good roast turkey, chicken. You want to reabsorb those juices. So we are reabsorbing those vapors. Okay, this is extremely important. All right, so we're just going to take off that top very gently. I like to have this ready. I want to make sure I keep all the vapors. All right. This is already decarboxylated. And because we already know, or at least for myself, and I love mason jars because on the side here, they have like this measuring cup. So that I absolutely love. Oh, I love that smell of cannabis. Oh my goodness, that distracted me. All right, so we're just going to fill that up to our fill line. And that's going to be our 4 ounces. It's super easy, guys. It does not need to be difficult. I like to give it a good shake, just like that. And we're going to put it inside of our double boiler. This is fine, just how it is, but you want to make sure that it does not boil. It's going to be at 100 or 212 degrees when it boils, but you don't want it to overboil, and the reason being is because we want to be gentle with those cannabinoids. So I like to keep this on a good simmer. And I'll let this go for at least 3 or 4 hours, right? So if you want simpler methods, or if you want something that is totally different from this, like, oh, Jasmine, I already know that, then I want you to check out greenpantherchef.com because we have so many other recipes, so many different extraction methods as well. So you can start cooking with cannabis today. But before I let you go, you might see this vegetable oil, right? Like, what are you going to do with this? You cannot extract with this, guys. I hear this so much. Like, so many people are like, can I extract with my vegetable oil? Or can I extract with canola oil? No. And the reason being is because the smoke point is way too high. So when we are dealing with something with a extra virgin olive oil with the smoke point, this is why we don't fry with extra virgin olive oil. It will probably taste a lot better, but we don't fry with it because of the smoke point. We're going to have a whole mess of a kitchen, and your oil is going to be everywhere, and your oil is going to smoke before your chicken is done. So we don't want that. That's why we typically like to fry in something like that has other things in it. So like a vegetable oil. But you do not want to extract with stuff like this, guys, because one, it doesn't yield for a great product. And then two, also the extraction will not be the best. All right, so as we pull all of this together, I hope you stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out the show notes because we'll have a lot more information when it comes to just how do we pull all of these recipes together? How do I make these at home? Why do I use my extra virgin olive oil? Why do I extract in honey and milk and coconut oil? Like, how do you use all this stuff, Jasmine? So make sure you stay tuned, guys. Thank you. Take care.